Hello, this is Casey. I am going to be making something that I saw that was very unusual to me, and it is black bean brownies. I've never heard of this before. I've never tried it before. Let's see how this turns out. I have my baking dish that I'm going to cook the brownies in already. I don't have a 9x9 or an 8x8 pan, so I'm just using the springform pan. I believe this is 9 inches diameter, so it'll work just the same. So I'm going to get the bottom of this pan greased up, and then I put this parchment paper, kind of rubbed it around upside down, and then I'm going to flip it over. So now the parchment paper is nice and greased, and I'm going to also grease the sides just a little bit. I'm just using ghee. I have a whole tub of it, so I might as well use this instead of like butter. I don't like using cooking spray, so I use ghee. So the star of these brownies are black beans. This is about 15 ounces of black beans, which is a can of black beans. Now we're going to do some nut butter. I'm doing peanut butter, and it's 3/4 of a cup. I always just eyeball. Okay, so here's where I'm going to deviate from the recipe. Next, it calls for applesauce. It calls for like a 1/2 cup of applesauce. I don't have any, but I have some Concord grape jelly that I made, and so I'm going to try this out. I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of Concord grape jam jelly. I'm just going to spoon that in there. With the applesauce, they're really trying to go for that texture and of course some of the sweetness, so that's why I feel like this jelly will work really nicely. It says 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Again, I'm just gonna eyeball that. 1/4 cup, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and we're gonna close this up and process it. See how it looks. Okay, so I'm gonna scrape down the edges. It's probably been going for about a minute. Here's the consistency so far. Oh, it smells really good. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna let it go for another minute or so. Our mixture's been processing for about 2 or 3 minutes. Now I'm gonna add some of the other ingredients. Need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Bring out those flavors. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. Just get that in there. And then we'll get this all stirred up now. Okay, that definitely thickened it up. I only let it go for about, I don't know, 20 seconds. See how much thicker that is? Wow. I'm going to take about 1/3 cup of chocolate chips and heat these up to where they're all melted. I'm going to do mine in the microwave. You can also do this on the stove over a double boiler. You don't want your chocolate to seize up, so the best way to avoid that is by microwaving your chocolate in 30-second intervals. Okay, so I'm going to add the rest of the dough from the food processor and with the melted chocolate. Just going to stir all this up. This looks super chocolatey, and it smells really good already. I think it's looking good. Okay, so I have the prepared baking dish. Gonna scoop this in here. It is, as you can see, very, very thick batter. Okay, so just gonna kind of pat it out. This is exactly what they had to do in the video as well that I saw. So I'm just very curious to see how these brownies actually taste. They're made with black beans. Again, I can't believe that. That seems pretty flat. Okay, so now for the toppings. Some walnuts. Any kind of nut will work. Some more chocolate chips, and then some flaky sea salt. Okay. Sprinkle them on top. And we'll put some more chocolate chips on top. I'd say maybe about 1/3 cup. You can do a 1/2 cup, 1/4 cup. Just some flaky sea salt on top. Okay, in the oven. It's going in for 30 minutes at 350. And when it comes out, it'll rest, and then we'll give it a try. Let's see how this works. Okay, they just came out and I've got to say it smells just like brownies. Okay, so this has been resting for about 5 minutes. I took it out of the springform pan. So let's do kind of little pie shapes. Well, I guess I'll just do one right here. Wow, look at that. Okay, let's give this a go. This is the black bean brownie. Very rich. Wow, that's good. It's very like fudgy. It's actually really good. I mean, this is still passes as a brownie. I can kind of starting to feel a little bit of the texture of the black beans, but it's not off-putting at all. Definitely the chocolate flavor overpowers it. These are good. Bon appetito.